this is another wrap-up for you. This is actually not working out quite as good as I thought it would because I haven't read very many books. But let's get into this wrap-up. Hey y'all, it's Jen and welcome to my channel, Ifers Inklings, and this is my weeks 2 and 3 reading wrap-up for 2018. I've only read one book each of those weeks, so I decided to combine these because I didn't think a one book wrap-up was that exciting. We're gonna get into it. Like I said, I only have 2 books, so this is gonna be a short video. The first book that I finished was Stardust by Neil Gaiman. I listened to that on audio. I read it as part of my A Year of Gaiman, and this is one of his older books. I gave it 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It is typical Neil Gaiman. In it, there are 2 worlds, and there is a human world that is barricaded by a wall, and on the other side of that, it leads into fairy. And once every, I think it's like 7 years or so, fairy and this human village come together for a market. And one of the boys from the human village goes in, meets a fairy. They produce a child together, unbeknownst to the boy. He goes back into his world. A few months later, a half fairy, half human baby is dropped off at the wall, and the human dad raises this child, this boy. And then later, when this boy grows up, he goes off into fairy on a quest, and that's where the story goes from there. Parts of the story are pretty predictable. You kind of know what's going to happen and who this boy really is before the end of the story, and what his connection to the fairy world is. But again, it was really enjoyable. I gave it 4.5 stars. I highly recommend it. The next book that I listened to was A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab, and this is the second book of a series. I'm not going to get much into it because I don't want to give away any spoilers, but I really enjoyed this book too. I also gave it 4.5 stars. So far, January's turning out to be great reading month for me. I haven't read anything that is under 4 stars so far. This is an adult fantasy series, and I'm just going to leave it at that because you should read the first book of this series to figure out what goes on in the second book. And I don't want to give away any spoilers, but let me just say this book ended on such a cliffhanger that I am just dying to get to the 3rd book and find out what happens. That's it. Like I said, this is a really short wrap-up this week. Not a lot for me to say. Next week's wrap-up I hope to be a little bit more substantial because I've already finished 1 book, so I should have 4 or 5 books in that wrap-up, hopefully. If you've read either one of these books, let me know what you thought of them. Did you enjoy these as much as I did? If you haven't read either one of these, are you going to check either one of them out? You guys know the drill. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. And you can also find me on social media, and all my links are down in the box below. Until next time, bye.